And just when I was about ready to move on and, be a different type of person, I get proven wrong I am again. Just when I was ready just to leave that whole satanic thing in the past, I'd see it on the news. Satanists rescue a goat. So I read an article, and then I know this isn't my normal type of thing of reactionary stuff and talking about real life stuff, but I wanted to talk about this, because I was about ready to move on with that whole satanic thing. But I saw a news article less than 5 minutes ago about this, called 3 Satanists Prove What It's Like to Be an Actual Member, an active member of the Satanic Temple, or the Satanist Temple. And I just keep getting blown away. Especially, ever since the whole thing with Satanism started. Especially the Satanic Temple. For example, it's always kind of the opposite of what the Christians say it is. Because in 2007, or in the Satanic Scriptures, it says, do not harm children, the 11 rules of the earth, all of that. And then the Satanic Temple came up, and it's like, and their dictate, or their tenet, I think it was the very first tenet out of the 7 they had, show benevolence and empathy towards all. And every time I doubt it, Satanism, blah, 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 blah. Every time I kind of doubt it, I kind of see these new articles. This time, it's a story told by 3 Satanists. It's like, what it's like to be an actual member of the church, Satan, or the Satanic Temple. And they were talking about how, the whole article is about how they rescued a goat from slaughter, from a slaughterhouse. And that they were on the beach after they rescued this goat from the slaughterhouse. These people saw what they were doing and called the police and told the police they were trying to sacrifice a goat on the beach, because after saving the goat, I guess they went to a beach or something so that the goat could be happy by the ocean. I don't know. But they told the police that they were trying to sacrifice a goat on the beach. And they proved when the officers showed up, they kind of proved that story and that report false. And I keep noticing this, but in the news report it also said the lifeguard came over to see what was up. It was the lifeguard that came over, not the police. But they did call the police and say, they're sacrificing a goat on the beach. And constant themes I keep seeing in these news reports about the Satanic Temple. The Satanists involved are always kind of nerdy or geeky or tongue-in-cheek in some way, or, kind of a good person. But second of all, they have stories, and stories about them are being shared on Facebook, on the news, on the news and social media, as benevolent against the superstitious, falsely created ideals that they're evil. I don't know. It's just I wanted to make a reactionary video because I just read this less than 5 minutes ago, so I wanted to do a reaction. And then it goes into the interview, and it starts talking about other subject matter. talking about, oh, how just because they labeled rock and roll and Dungeons and Dragons as this evil thing, all evil, it attracted them more because they already had an attachment towards it. So of course they founded them as women. The feminist agenda is also in there. It's like, oh, we found the perfect group for women. You know, like, I'm not against it. I'm not against feminism. It just kind of keeps bringing it up every time I see it. It's just different. And of course, there's an image of, a nun with an inverted cross and all that. Stuff like that. That went with the feminist thing that they said. But yeah, it was an entire interview talking about how they pardoned a goat, and then everybody was convinced that they were sacrificing a goat, but really they were just eating vegan stuff and hummus and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just I can't explain this properly. And the Sadie, the woman, goes on about her transgender transition when she was around the time she joined that temple, the Satanic Temple, and it's good for her, because there's so much stuff in the Holy Bible that steps on women and says there's only two genders, and of course there's stuff in the Bible, and it's okay to, and God even commanded and performed abortions and stuff like that. They ripped open women's stomachs and stuff, and ate the babies. So I mean, like, it's good for her. I mean, this is a thing that keeps popping up. Again, either they're making it up or they're not. But either way, they're being rational. Something they do is rational. And of course, there's Christians that react irrationally. I don't have a word to describe this, but it is becoming more apparent. Constant theme I'm always hearing about these people whenever, the constant theme I always hear from these people or on news reports about them is that they're always asking the guideline question, or in the guise of every time they're accused, like this time they were being accused of sacrificing a goat that they happened to rescue. I just keep seeing this. It's a constant theme every time I read about this or whatever, is, oh, those superstitious Christians, like those superstitious Christians, living in the 1800s looking for people to accuse. I see this, and I have nothing against their religion. I just kind of shocked about this one. I'm not against them, but I'm kind of shocked to hear about this story.